exponentially this year. But is this rally sustainable? To discuss that, we are now joined by Kaushlendra Sinha, the CEO at Indian Association of Gold Excellence in Standards. Hi, Mr. Sinha. Thank you so much for joining us today. Very good afternoon. Firstly, let's talk about gold. With gold already having surged about 70% this year, how much of this up move that is, do you think is sustainable going forward in 2026?
The gold, of course, has seen a very strong momentum in the year 2025, which was actually a carryover from the previous year and a half. And the reason for this upward movement has been structural. A lot of people link it to what is happening currently in the geopolitical space. But we also see a lot of this is happening is structural, and we don't see those resolutions happening in the year 2026. So as IAGES, I'm not in a position to predict, where the numbers would be in the year. But we surely see this momentum going forward because some of the issues which are actually making this happen, we don't see a resolution for that in the year 2026. And those are long-term structural changes which is happening in the global economy, which is putting pressure on the gold prices. And we see this trend to continue.
Okay, so the trend is likely to continue, but that's about the prices. Mr. Sinha, how are investors reacting to these surge in prices? Are investors staying away and waiting on the sidelines in anticipation of a fall? Or are we seeing investment-led gold buying as well?
See, what is happening in India is, of course, there has been a pressure on jewelry buying today. The overall volume has not grown. Rather, it has remained stagnant or there has been some squeeze. So that's something which has been there in the market. Everybody has observed that. But what has also happened is that since there has been consistent return on the gold prices, if you look at, since the year start of since you look at year 2000 onwards, 2000 to 2025, if you look at the CAGR which gold has returned is upward of 14%, which is better than what the stock market has given. So, of course, now, people are seeing that investment in gold is something which actually gives you a long-term sustained growth with a very minimum flip side. So we see that trend to continue. There has been promotion of gold, which can be held back in an ETF or a mutual fund format. And those trends are growing. So we would believe that this trend will continue. Of course, the industry is responding to the new gold prices. And we also expect that the consumer, it takes a pause before it starts realizing and accepting the new price levels. So while consumers would remain in the marketplace, we believe that the diversification of investment portfolio from the retail consumer will continue to happen in a strong way. And gold will retain its attractiveness as an investment tool going forward.
So gold is likely to retain its attractiveness as an investment asset. That's the word coming in. But Mr. Sinha, let's also talk about regulations and norms around precious metals. Now, your Indian Association of Gold Excellence and Standards, it was established as a self-regulatory body to represent the entire Indian gold ecosystem and improve transparency. Now, we know that BIS hallmarking that has been done, a lot for metal purity, but your organization also focuses on integrity across the value chain. Tell us how critical is this specific benchmarking today in protecting consumers from sophisticated frauds, and why was it necessary to create a separate self-regulatory organization to police these best practices?
Globally. So we are a very unique institution. Something, as I said earlier, has not been tried before, has not happened globally before. The need to create an organization like this, a self-regulatory organization, is precisely to give the consumers a choice. We know the gold industry has been working in a particular way. The industry has been organized. We have seen in the recent past that industry has started to organize itself. But to create a fair marketplace where the consumer can walk in, consumer can invest money, consumer can buy gold with a certain peace of mind without a point of hesitation when making a transaction is something which has been felt by the industry. So just to give you a background, IAGES was set up by the World Gold Council. We started as an industry initiative in August 2025, earlier this year. When we became completely independent of World Gold Council, Currently, our shareholding is held by industry associations like GJEPC, GJC, IBJA, and there are other bodies which are coming on board. So we are a completely industry initiative. And the idea why the industry bodies have come together is to essentially put the consumer at the centerpiece of this entire gold buying experience. So the idea here is to empower the consumer in making the right choices. Hallmark has been doing a phenomenal job, I think, on the gold side, where Hallmark is now something which is accepted by the consumers while making a gold purchase, and it focuses on the purity of the metal, which is fabulous, which is the best thing to happen. What we are offering to the Indian consumers is also a choice of also suggesting them business entities in the gold value chain who follow honest, transparent, ethical practices. And our assessment that we are offering, the code of conduct that we are offering to the Indian businesses to follow, essentially mandates that there is a third party audit which happens, which actually gives the lot of legitimacy to this entire process. So our accreditation is based on the code of conduct which has been defined by the industry, and the code of conduct which is verified by through a third party audit. So at the end of the day, we want to take this transparency, take this and create that piece of trust in the consumer's mind, so that the consumer can come to the market with much more open mind.
All right, so that's the key, transparency and ethical practices. That's the word coming in. That's the reason why we need these norms. Thank you so much, Mr. Sinha, for joining us today. On that note, we'll let you go. Well, with that, time now for a very short break. We'll be right back to take you through more.